Hi there everyone. This video accompanies my July Airgun World article on the Crosman 1322 Medalist. I'll put a photo up around about here showing you myself, teenage me, aged about 13 or 14, in my back garden plinking away with the Crosman with the regulation plastic shoulder stock added. So much fun. I've got to remember to look in the corner where the camera is and not in the center of the screen, but I should explain, I've moved around, had the curtains open, but there was so much sunlight in it, was just blindingly white on my face. It's a bit of a bodybuilder of a beastie this though. Let me just show you. Safety's a basic plastic trigger block with a small red band to show when it's available to fire. So put the safety on. If I just and you'll see that I'm avoiding, I open my palm to avoid catching my fingers between the receiver tube and the pump, 4-inch pump, because you only do that once. You'll soon learn the lesson. So 5 pumps, which with my normal pellets, I counted this yesterday, and 5 pumps is about 2.7 foot-pounds. Give it an extra pump, 6 pumps, 3 foot-pounds, with my usual RWS hobby, and that's the flatheads I usually use with any 2.2 plinking pistols or carbines. So point it down range, my finger, rock the loading flap open, slide it back, drop a pellet in, and drop it in heel first, because you'll just see there's a tiny little probe, a seating probe. So you drop the open end of the pellet skirt over that probe, let it fall forward so the business end is pointing down range, and slide it forwards and close. And the last thing you do, once you're pointing at the backstop, is pull the cocking plunger at the back, and then you're good to go. So safety off. Very loud, especially in the small confines of my little spare bedroom studio. But this is a pneumatic, so it's a lot louder without a pellet in than it is loaded. I bought my first Crosman 1322 Medalist. It's a 1300 series 2.2 caliber 1322. There's also the 1377 available, smaller caliber. And I remember buying the plastic shoulder stock for about a tenner, which turns it into a carbine, as you saw in that photo. Basically, there's a small slot head screw on each side, so the 2 plastic grips come off, skeletal buttstock goes on, same 2 screws go back on, and let's show you how the carbine looks. Okay, so there we have the finished article. Very nice and compact. Comes into the shoulder very nicely. Plenty of cheek contact. And you can also brace the stock, buttstock, into your arm or under your arm while you pump away. The same. Flip up the loading port, slide it back, drop in a pellet, skirt first, let it rock forward, close the loading port. You can then put it in your shoulder, you ready? And then pull the plunger back, cock the action. So, as to the question of how many pumps do you give the Crosman to get a decent back garden plinking experience, I pulled out my 2 trusty Webley pistols, the Webley Tempest 177 and the Webley Hurricane 2.2, which I featured last year in an article where I upgraded the grip with a full-on anatomical adjustable grip that now definitely fills my hand nicely. This is a work in progress because at 10 meters I discovered, for some reason, with having the grip on and my slightly different hand position, it now fires 2 inches high at 10 meters, and that's with the sight lowered as far as possible. So firing as low as possible, pellets are still going 2 inches high. Answers on a postcard, please. But this fella needs tuning anyway, so at some point I'll get it serviced when I'm feeling flush. But work in progress there. I did some testing yesterday with the 2.2 Hurricane, and obviously we have the trusty barrel release, and then open over in a wanner, finger well off the trigger. You grab a pellet, drop it point first, or flat first if you like, down the barrel, and then push the barrel catch to relatch the barrel. And one plus is the safety catch will now go on. I love that feature on any rifle or pistol, that the safety will only go on when the gun's cocked. Oh, feral cloud of smoke from dieseling. That's not rigged, that's live. I think this pistol's well in need of a service. So chronoing the 2.2 Webley Hurricane yesterday. JSB exacts 15.89 grain, which I wouldn't use on a pistol. 338 feet per second, 4 foot-pounds. That's a string of 5 shots. Then I went on to the trusty RWS hobbies, which I usually use for paper punching at 10 meters or for plinking with a 2.2 pistol. 402 feet per second, 4.3 foot-pounds. Decent, healthy amount. Well within the 6 foot-pound legal limit for UK air pistols, but very satisfying. A nice clunk when you're firing, and you see cans getting shredded down range. So I thought 4 foot-pounds, we'll make that a target, because the question is always, how many times do you pump? So I went through the testing with the Crosman 1322 and the RWS Hobby flathead pellets, which are 11.9 grain. 5 pumps, 2.7 foot-pounds. 6 is 3 foot-pounds. 7 pumps, 3.4. 8 pumps, 3.7 foot-pounds. And it took 9 pumps to 389 feet per second, 4 foot-pounds exactly. And that's each of those groups. I did 5 shots. I'll just show you how that looks. So 5 shots, 9 pumps each, 4 foot-pounds exactly. 6 feet per second spread, which is brilliant, and standard deviation of 2. Very impressive. So a couple of things just to round off. Thanks very much to the ex-colleague years ago who gave me the Crosman 1322. It was just before the start of 2017 and the advent of Scottish Airgun licensing. He heard me talking about being a member of a club in Aberdeen. He came in the next day with a very discreet package, handed it over in the car park, all very cloak and dagger, and it was this Crosman 1322. He didn't use this air pistol anymore. It was in his loft gathering dust, so he brought it in and kindly handed it over, not wanting to get a license himself or be criminalised. So thanks again, mate. So the 11.9 grain RWS hobbies, which I'll try and get a shot of there. These are my preferred pellet for target shooting with air pistols, because they're relatively light. So being 11.9 grain, the flathead RWS hobbies, which I prefer to use with a 2.2 air pistol, they simply get the best of the whatever available power there is to get the flattest trajectory you can and make the neatest holes downrange in the paper targets. with it being wad cutters, flat-headed pellets. Likewise, if I'm ever shooting a fun CO2 pistol, for example, I'll use the cheaper RWS Basics, again flat heads, 7 grains, whereas if I'm target shooting, I'll use the R10 match, and these are slightly better quality and very good results in target pistols at 10 meters. I was thinking I'd include in my testing with this Crosman 1322 some lightweight synthetic pellets, but these dynamics are actually 14.5 grains, so no benefit there, and the chrono figures proved as much. And I've got a small amount of the JSB exact PB free, so lead free JSBs, and these are 11.75 grain, so not really much benefit velocity wise. They're significantly more expensive than wad cutters like the hobbies, so I stick to the hobbies. Regarding upgrades, the 1322, there's no threaded muzzle, so you're not going to get a moderator on here. The plastic receiver here, this original one doesn't have any scope rails on it. I did buy a pair of Crosman mounts, 459 MTs I think they are, and I tried, first of all, I tried a cheap scope, but I can't remember where I got this from, but it looks like it came out of a Christmas cracker, quality wise. This one weighs nothing, and it's a 4x20, but the basic mounts have limited movement and they wouldn't expand enough to go on the Crosman mounts. So what I have put on board for you for show is a cheap 1.5 to 5x20 scope. It looks the business, and if I just take this caps off, it looks the business, but I'm afraid with the stock braced in my arm, I can show you here the wobble there, and that's the wobble of the intermount over the barrel. So not really cut out for optics. Looks the business, but no, you're not going to get a repeatable zero with this scope on this pistol. But it's a lot of fun using the open sights, and I've been able to ring 3 and 4 inch steel discs on the outdoor range at Gark out to sort of 25 meters with a bit of trial and error, and get your hold over the right, and a lot of fun. So thanks again for watching. I hope you found this interesting, and I've got lots more videos coming up. Eagle Vision cam goodies coming up very soon, independent reviews of those, and I've got some more kit on its way from John Rothery Wholesalers, doing some reviews for them and some blogs. As always, all my blogs and reviews will be 100% independent, and you just get my opinion, my honest opinion from experience. So thanks for watching, stay safe, and see you again very soon.